Hi, the biggin coming back at you. This one is not going to be on a juice. This is a mod review. So, picked this up about a week or so ago. Don't know if any of y'all have seen it out yet. This is the Kanger Pro Tank. Basically, if you're familiar with Kanger's tanks, it is a large version of the EVOD, but it's got a glass tank. There's the chrome bottom cap and tip on top. It's a Pyrex glass tank, pretty durable. Feels pretty thick. Got a decent weight to it. It's not super heavy. Pretty good tank so far. If you're, like I said, it's like a big EVOD tank. But where the Kanger Pro Tank is different than the EVOD tank, sorry, I emptied it out and took it apart so I could show you all this stuff. Where it comes in, like the Kanger EVOD, is the bottom coil cartomizer. Get that up there so y'all can see it. Where the bottom coil cartomizer is a little bit different than the EVOD. Couple things that I've noticed is this post right here that goes into the air shaft. It is longer. It almost reminds me of the T3 bottom coil tank. But also, if you're familiar with the EVODs, the T3s, the CE5s, all from Kanger, and you're on just a 510 thread connection for your mods, just like my lava tube here is a 510 thread. The EVOD, T3s, CE5s, those are ego threads, which work great on the Joytecs. They do make 510 to ego adapters. Me personally, I don't like those adapters. I had problems with them, especially my lava tube. So when I saw Kanger was releasing this, I was really excited about it. Wanted to grab one as soon as I could and check it out. So far, I really like it. This is the bottom cap. Again, very similar to the EVOD, just larger. But that's where the 510 thread is on the bottom. You can see that there. Nice big well hole. It's got 3 air holes. Maybe you can see one right there. It's real small. Around the base of the 510. The bottom coil cart, wick carto, screws into the bottom. You want your 510 thread facing, we'll just say, away from you. And this goes inside here. There's some threading here, right there, just in front of my thumbnail with a gasket that actually goes into the tank. So we're gonna put that in. Just finger tight. Don't crank it down. Let the gasket do its job. I'm going to take the Kanger Pro Tank and fill it up. Just like any of the other Kangers or Cartos, that center pipe in there, you just see it. You know, don't get any juice down in there. That's your air shaft. You're still holding it upside down. Take that air shaft post on the carto, stick it straight in, screw it down. Again, finger tight, maybe just a tick more than a finger tight. Let the gasket do its job. Screw it on. And the carto that's in it is a 2.2. I think it came with a 1.8. I just took the 1.8 out and put the 2.2 in. So I can run that around 4.5, 4.8, and it handles it pretty well. At first, I liked the T3s and the EVODs. They were pretty good tanks, pretty durable. The T3s and CE5s, your cinnamon juices, your real super acidic juices like the Fusion Vapor, it's now called Gummy Blood, it'll melt them. Your real strong cinnamon juices, they're going to cloud the tank. Not with the Pro Tank. It's Pyrex glass. It'll take anything you put in it. And it puts off some really, really good vapor clouds. It's not quite as airy as the T3. It's a little bit tighter of a draw than the EVOD, but not as tight as the CE5, which is the CE5 is the top wick tank. If you're familiar with these bottom coil tanks, you know sometimes they do get a little bit of vapor lock. Just a couple light puffs in there. The EVODs and the T3s, they tend to give me juice hits and gurgled on me. This has not. I pull pretty hard. Pretty big lungs, pretty strong lungs, so I'm pulling pretty hard. So let's go ahead and fire this up and give it a hit. The first couple hits sometimes are a little on the weak side. When that does happen, I do like to check it just to make sure I'm not leaking anywhere. Make sure everything's okay. Cause I mean, gasket threading, something's gonna cross up, something's gonna leak. It's gonna happen. Part of vaping. Throw it on up around 4.8. Puts off some pretty good clouds. It's a consistent hit for the most part. Not as consistent as your DCT Cardo tanks, like your Artemis tube tanks. It's not as consistent as those, but it's still pretty consistent. In my opinion, a lot better than the EVOD and T3s. CE5s were pretty consistent, but so far this Pro Tank, I really like it. I even left juice in it and just let it sit for a week. I used it pretty hard for about the first 2 or 3 days just to run it through a real hard drag race, and it held up great. No gurgles, no juice hits. I didn't even get condensation built up in the air shaft that was juicing me. So I just took it, I set it aside, I put it in my case where I keep my other tanks, and I just let it sit there. When I pulled it out and fired it up, I got a little bit of a gurgle, but it cleared right up in about 2 hits. So other than that, Kanger's nailed this one down pretty good. Real solid tank, good durable glass, awesome tank. It's a little bit of an airy hit, but it's not super airy. Which that's what I like. I like a very light airy to a fairly tight draw, not super tight, but I do like a tight draw, but I do like an airy draw, depending on the juice, depending on the tank. So, with that being in mind, Kanger Pro Tank, worth the money. Go grab you one, especially if you're a 5-10 thread user. Go grab you one glass tank, put any juice in it you want. I found with your low VG, high PG, and high VG, low PG, your 50/50s, it holds up good. Holds up real good. Easy to change a flavor out on it. It doesn't the previous flavor doesn't linger hardly at all. Half a dozen hits and it's gone. You're right into your new flavor. You're good to go, ready to rock and roll and enjoying it. So Kanger Pro Tanks, go check them out. This is the biggin. And remember, smoke is a joke, but a vape is great. Have a good day.